Welcome to the Jill on Money Show. It's Wednesday, August 30th, and we are here on vacation. No, I'm not here really, but I'm on vacation, and so is Mark. But you are here, and you are listening to this pod because we got you into that habit of listening every day. And so we want to deliver what we are promising, which is helping you make sense of your financial questions seamlessly. And if you're a little bit of a voyeur and you've always been wanting to get in touch with us, but you're kind of scared, don't worry. It's as easy as going to our website, jillonmoney.com. Click the Contact Us button. Of course, let us know if you would be willing to come on the air. Mark does everything else. That is what Ann did. Ann is on the line from New York.
So I've been a saver all my life. I started with a mutual fund probably at about 18. Quickly made that an IRA. Then through work, I always had 401ks. I would roll them over to IRAs. I converted to a Roth probably in my late 30s. I'm in my early 50s. I now have money saved up in my Roth. I have some money in my work IRA or my work 401k. I recently had a loss in the family and I was left some money. And that's what I'm trying to figure out now is, do I have enough to retire at this age? What do I need to do to fill the gap in?
All right, so let's go through a few of the details. So first of all, Ann, how old are you?
53.
Okay. Are you married, partnered, single?
I'm single, no children.
Okay. And how much do you earn right now?
I earn about $86,000 a year.
Okay. And on the $86,000, you say you have a work 401k. About how much do you contribute every year?
I'm maxing that out now at $30,000.
Wow. How much money have you put in the 401k so far? What do you have in there?
$85,000.
Okay. And then you said you also have a Roth IRA, right?
Yes.
How much is in that?
$410,000.
Wow. That's awesome. And do you have a brokerage account as well?
Yes, I have my funds, except for the 401k. That one's at Fidelity. The other ones are at Vanguard. I have my brokerage there too at Vanguard, along with the Roth. I have about $610,000 in that, and that's a mix of mutual funds, some bond funds, and a basic money market that I'm using to save up. Well, actually not save up, but using to put down on my home. I'm buying a new home out of state.
Oh, all right. Hold on. We're going to get to that in a second. So in that brokerage account of 610, is the inheritance also in there, included in that, or is that held separately?
Part of it. I had a two-part inheritance. So part of it's in that brokerage account because that came in through a trust. And then the other part is in the inherited IRA.
And how much is the total inherited IRA?
That's $1,060,000.
Holy smokes. It's like a lot of money here, Mama. And in that inherited IRA, was the death recently in the last year or two? Is it prior?
It was within the last 9 months.
Okay. All right. So we have 10 years to get that out. All right. Now let's go to some other stuff. You said you're thinking about a new house, which leads me to think you have a current home. Is that right?
Yes. I own a home here in New York State, and I did buy one down south. It should be finished being built in December.
How much is your current home worth?
I could sell it for about $250,000 now. I bought it for $148,000. I have a mortgage of $100,000 on it.
Is the game plan to sell New York and move to the southern residence?
Yes.
And the place down south, how much is that?
I'll be mortgaging about $420,000.
So what's the value? And so, okay, I'm sorry.
$556,000.
$556,000. So this is, you've already done this or you're about to do this?
I already did it.
Okay. Look at you. I already did it. So what did you put down money from brokerage? Where did you have the money come from?
Yeah, I took it from the brokerage. I had, since that relative passed away, I've been withdrawing $9,000 a month with the goal of getting it down within 10 years, but in smaller chunks for tax reasons. So I've been using that money for my initial down payment, and then I'll be accumulating it the next, 7 months, and using that rest to put down for my deposit, then taking the money I get from the sale of my New York home, replenishing my brokerage. So I really won't be out money.
All right. I mean, you have plenty of money, so let's not go crazy. So at the end of the day, you'll own this house down in the South. You'll move down there full time. was the idea that you were always going to retire, or were you planning on working and then and perhaps trying to do something remote? Like, what was the game plan that you had?
And my initial plan was to work until about 58 or 59 and retire, because I could fill the gap with health insurance through the money I had saved, because that's the one thing that's bothering me now is health insurance, until I can collect or take Medicare. Right. So my thought now is to partially retire, to pursue hobbies. I'm moving down to a 55 and over. It's on the lake, so there'll be some activities, blah, blah, blah. So my idea was, would I be able to retire within the next 2 to 3 years?
How much do you think that you will need to live on when you move out of New York? What's your guess?
I've actually been working on a budget, and I've overestimated it just to be safe. And I'll need a roughly maximum $6,000 a month. I'm very frugal. I do like to travel, so I have put some money aside for that.
Okay. When you say the $6,000 a month, does that include your health insurance or not?
No, that does not. And that's assuming that I'm getting it through work still. So I did not add that, and that's going to change it. And that's what's holding me up is the health insurance.
Let's just add it in. Now we need $7,000 a month, right? If you take we're going to pretend, when is the house ready to be done? Like, when you want this to happen, like now or the end of the year? Like, what's your game plan?
I'm waiting for it to be finished being built. Probably between December and February, I should be closing.
All right. So we can say you're done at the end of this year, right? Okay. So I would do this. I would stop taking money out of the inherited IRA right now. It's just going to add to your tax liability, and you're still working. So you don't need that money right now. And you're living fine on your $86,000, right?
Yes.
You feel comfortable, right? Okay. So first things first, what I would stop doing is maxing out your retirement account, your traditional 401k. I would stop doing that, because we need to just have money that's liquid and easy and living on it. You don't need a 401. You don't need the traditional money. You don't need that. Absolutely don't need that. So what I think is the game plan is that you would, I think I agree with what where you were going with this, which is, okay, I'm 53. Between 53 and 63, I'm just going to use the money from the inherited IRA. I'm going to pull the money out every year, and I'm going to live on that. Like, pay yourself. Think of it as like, that's my wages for the next 10 years. And you're not entitled to a pension, or you are?
No, okay. No pension.
Okay. So we're going to basically deplete this within 10 years because you have to, which is fine. You can afford this because, amazingly, maybe not when starting next year, if you take this money out, if you say, let's just make it round number, 10 grand a month, you pay the tax on your 10 grand a month, right? That's 120,000. You'll be in the 22% tax bracket. If you're going to have a little bit of a deduction from the mortgage, and, even if it's not enough, you certainly have a standard deduction, that you're mostly going to be in the 22% tax bracket. You take 10 grand a month, you pay your tax that's due. You are basically living on that for the next 9 years. Okay. Easy. It's all done in 9 years. You've complied. You've taken the money out. Great. At that point, you're 63 years old. Actually, are you 64, right? Because this is for next year we're starting in. And now we have to think about Social Security. And the cool thing is about your situation is that you have the brokerage account and you have the Roth IRA. So you have $1 million already. And you use that to live on for those next few years before you claim your Social Security. And then I think you're good, because now what we have is your Social Security benefit. So tell us, what is your Social Security benefit likely to be? Let's start with your full retirement age.
I'm planning on taking retirement at 65.
Why?
The full retirement would be 67.
Yeah. So what's the number at 67?
Oh, at 60, I don't know that number. I know the number at 65 would be like about 30,000 a year.
Okay. And I know you're just sort of pegging that to like, oh, it's Medicare, but you're still probably better off waiting till 67. Do you have longevity in your genes?
Yes, I do. That's what gets me thinking about how long will this money last? Will it last me if, say, I make it to my late 80s or early 90s?
Probably.
I live a healthy lifestyle.
I mean, if you wait till age 67, you still have, remember, we've got basically we have right now about $1.1 million, right? Right this second. Forget about the inherited IRA. That $1.1 million, even if you don't put any new money in, well, you're going to put a little bit in because you'll have from the proceeds of your house. So let's say you have $1.2 million. Mark, what is $1.2 million invested for, let's make it 14 years, okay? And let's use a rate of 5%. 5% annualized return for 14 years.
2.34.
Okay. So if you have $2.3 million at the age of 67, could we then generate the money that we think you're going to need to supplement Social Security? I think you can. I think that will be just about perfect. Because remember, your health insurance is not going to go to zero. You're going to have to pay for insurance out of pocket for now, but in Medicare, your costs will go down a little bit. And I think you should be just fine to generate $6,000 a month. Even if I inflated that $6,000 a month, you'll have the money to do it. If you're feeling at all skittish about this game plan, you could work full time. You could work part time now. There are a lot of ways for you to bring in extra income. I guess what I don't know is how much do you really want to be done?
That's where I am mentally. I want to be done. Partly because I'm at that age where I've been thinking about it, but I'm in the middle of selling this place and moving into a new one. I really am mentally done, at least with this particular job. But I'm worried about just resigning and having the money run out on me at one point. I'm not an overspender. I'm very cautious. So I'm not worried that way, but I'm relying on the market.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think that there's a problem though. If you're a worrywart, the way to do it is if you hate what you're doing, is there a way for you to do what you're doing part-time?
No, not this particular position.
Okay. So then what I would do is there's two choices. One is you know what? It's what I know. I know how to do it. It's fine. Or it's do it through the end of the year. Do your move and then go make some money part-time doing something. Make another make $30,000 a year doing something. Not nothing that's going to cause you stress. That will take the edge off for you. But I think you can do it. I mean, you are young. You're awfully young to do this.
That was my concern, but it's reassuring to hear you and to hear these ideas because I didn't think of it that way. I'm thinking of when that inherited IRA goes, I forgot that I will still have money left over that right now is earning money.
Yeah.
I haven't invested. It's balanced. I'm going to recalibrate it.
Yeah.
So even if there's something catastrophic, it's not going to go away. I think that's what I needed was the reassurance from you and the idea of 2 different or 3 different plans at this point.
Yeah. I mean, it's a great problem to have. And I'm hopeful, it's so funny. I keep hearing from people who are in similar situations where it's I'm kind of close, but you want an off ramp or you want an on ramp. Maybe it's an off ramp from the anxiety and on ramp to maybe a different time and a different way of living your life. And I think this is a really good outcome for you. Look, if you had not inherited this IRA, we would not be having this conversation.
Correct.
It would not be doable. Right? You know that.
Correct.
And even look, most people are not in a position when they're in their 50s to move up when we're talking about their housing. You're doubling the cost of your housing essentially, right? So if something changed or if you felt weird about the whole situation, then you could simply just work a little bit longer. You could keep going. You can see where you stand. You can give us a call back in a year and see, all these things are possible, but you have a lot of choices. I think you're in very good shape.
Thank you. That is really reassuring. And that's what I needed to hear.
Good.
And I think I'm leaning toward working just till the end of the year.
Good. Screw them. Let him eat cake, Ann. All right. If you, like Ann, are considering a big change of location, of job, of really just remaking your whole life, first of all, this is a total great money reset because this is using an asset, meaning the inherited IRA, and give yourself permission to do the thing you want to do. And if you need us to reinforce that permission, give us a holler. Go to JillOnMoney.com, click the Contact Us button, Let us know if you would be willing to come on the air. Don't forget, you can subscribe to Jill on Money wherever you find your favorite podcast. Just tell people about it. It's very helpful, actually. Lift someone up. Change your work, change your wealth, change your life. Thank you for listening. We'll talk to you tomorrow.